Hi, my name is Misty Metz, and today we'll be talking about international management. Let's start by answering the question, what is management? Management is the pursuit of organizational goals efficiently and effectively. Managers are people who get things done. They are task-oriented, achievement-oriented, and people-oriented. Managers plan, organize, lead, and control resources. Some words to remember are efficiency, use resources wisely and cost-effectively. Effectiveness, achieve results, make right decisions, and successfully carry them out. Globalization is the trend of the world economy toward becoming a more independent system. And e-commerce is commercial transactions conducted electronically over the internet. So what is international management? When you think of international management, think of globalization. Communication around the world is easier thanks to e-commerce and air travel. Three developments that reflect globalization are the rise of the global village, the world's becoming one market, and the rise of mega firms and internet-enabled mini firms. As an international manager, you're going to need to have an geocentric mindset, have acceptance of different cultures, experiences, and locations. Seek out global news sources. Memorize 5 facts about another country. This will come in handy if you have to travel internationally for business to countries like Japan or China. You can research facts about that country to help reduce the culture shock. It can even help to learn some of the basic key words or phrases to help you in that country. Use slang sparingly. Not every country uses slang the same way we do. So if you can avoid using it, it would be best to do that. Leisure travel to a foreign country. If you're going to travel to a foreign country and you know you have some time coming up where you can travel leisurely before business, going over to that same country you're about to travel for business, it can help to experience the culture, what they eat, how they talk, how they dress. All these things can help you be successful in international management. So why will some companies expand overseas? They'll do this to lower labor costs, to be competitive, and to sell to new markets. This in turn can create new systems of connection, new quality of technological progress, and give them an advantage. Now let's talk about interorganizational relationships. When considering interorganizational management, the cooperation between independent entities is important to developmental trends. Use human capital to shape the organization. There must be mutual trust, respect, and openness. When considering international management, it's important to know the culture the company is working in, for, or with. Culture trends such as how elderly are treated or how to eat properly. Think of slurping. In America, not a lot of people will do it, and it might even be considered rude, but in other countries it's considered rude not to. Other values, beliefs, behaviors, and knowledge of different countries will help you as well. It's important to consider variations in language, religion, political stability, and time orientation. Can small businesses compete in globalization? To stay competitive, they can compete by using innovation and increasing investment attractiveness. They can also use leading-edge technology that is new for the global economy. Some problems that they might have is the absence of platform for interaction with investors, complexity of evaluation, and innovational projects. Differences in normative and legal provision of innovational investment activities in different countries. A small business cannot guarantee financial provisions or material gain as a return investment, so mergers and unification are going to be a benefit to small businesses. Why is international management important? Lowering trade barriers. Trade agreements are used to reduce or eliminate tariffs to make it easier to trade with other countries. In 1995, the World Trade Organization was created to deal with global rules of trade. Their 4 main functions are to provide mechanisms for countries to negotiate trade agreements, monitor those agreements, providing means to handle trade disputes, and provide training to less developed countries to implement agreements. Foreign direct investment. When one country or company invests in another through ownership. Emerging markets, non-developed countries with the potential to play a crucial role in globalization. This is where the training from the World Trade Organization will come in handy. And use of the internet. Just about every country in the world has access to it. It's easier for a company to sell their products online to anyone, anywhere, anytime. Amazon and eBay are 2 prime examples of internet benefiting a company's globalization. Businesses are finding it easier to connect to foreign customers using social media. The negative side of international management. According to Pankaj Ghemawat, the world is only interacting in semi-globalization. The law of semi-globalization states that the percentages of international trade aren't as high as domestic. And we'll look at some of those percentages in a second. The law of distance states that the more distance between countries, the more barriers there will be. 5 dimensions that can dampen globalization are distance, culture, administrative, geographical, and economical. So here are some percentages from 2018 for global exports and trades, and this is the reason why Pankaj Ghemawat was saying that we're only in semi-globalization, not full globalization. In 2018, the U.S. only had global exports and trades for 12.2%. China, Cuba, and Guam were below 20%. Greenland, the Philippines, and Vietnam were 30 to 50%. Brexit was an attempt of the UK to leave the EU, which they successfully did in January of this year. The EU allows for free trade and free movement of people. The British leaving the EU will affect globalization and trade in that part of the world. It's going to take a while for them to decide on the new rules of trade in that area. So if you're going to do international management, you have to be considerate of that fact. This will also affect international management, and that's why. So are there solutions? Globalization needs to remain sustainable and equitable while considering the use of technology and the challenges it presents. Managers must be adaptable to other cultures. Have patience, be flexible, and tolerate others' beliefs. If you do these things, you will have success in international management.